Have you ever wished you could just hit the reset button on your life? If so, what you're about to discover might be the roadmap you've been looking for. In this powerful session, we'll explore the ancient philosophy of Stoicism, a timeless guide that originated in Greece and still holds the key to staying grounded in the chaos of modern life. We will uncover core Stoic principles that can completely transform the way you handle hardship, pain, and uncertainty. For centuries, Stoicism has helped people develop calmness, emotional balance, and inner strength. These principles teach us how to face adversity with quiet resilience, how to stay steady when everything around us begins to shake. But this video goes beyond what to do. It also reveals 7 destructive habits Stoics warn against. Behaviors that can quietly sabotage your growth and peace of mind. So here's how we'll journey together. First, we'll walk through the 13 Stoic principles that fortify your mind, so you can protect your energy and build a stronger, wiser version of yourself. Because here's a truth many ignore. When we let our guard down mentally, there are always people who might take advantage of it. Envy, manipulation, and cruelty often appear in places we least expect, at work, in friendships, even within family. That's why it's vital to guard your inner core. Think of yourself as a tree in a storm. The leaves and branches may bend and sway, but the roots, your values, your calm, must remain firm. In this video, you'll learn how to cultivate that silent strength, that inner stillness which allows you to stay centered through both chaos and calm. The Stoic path teaches us that real power doesn't come from shouting or controlling others. It comes from the quiet flame within, the light that guides, not the thunder that intimidates. So, take a deep breath. Put distractions aside. Let's walk through these teachings together, step by step. The first Stoic principle: listen more than you speak. The first principle reminds us of something we often forget. Listening is more powerful than talking. In a world obsessed with being heard, Stoicism invites us to rediscover the quiet strength of attention. When you listen deeply, you're not just showing respect, you're opening a door to understanding. True listening helps you see beyond your own thoughts, to grasp new perspectives, and grow wiser with every conversation. Listening teaches humility. It slows you down, silences the ego, and connects you more deeply with others. By choosing to listen instead of rushing to speak, you create space for clarity, empathy, and growth. Every person you meet knows something you don't. When you listen carefully, you absorb their experiences, their lessons, and their worldviews. And from that, you build a richer understanding of life itself. In this sense, listening becomes an act of wisdom, a quiet rebellion in a noisy world. It strengthens relationships, deepens understanding, and nurtures patience. So remember, speak less, listen more. In the stillness of attention, we find truth. The second Stoic principle: see failure as a teacher. The next Stoic principle reshapes how we see loss and mistakes. It tells us, don't see failure as defeat, see it as education. Every misstep is part of the journey to mastery. Failure is not the end. It's a lesson disguised as pain. When you fail, life is teaching you something you couldn't have learned otherwise. Epictetus and the Stoics urge us to examine our mistakes without judgment. Don't drown in guilt or frustration. Instead, look at your errors with curiosity. Ask, what is this trying to teach me? This mindset builds resilience. It transforms failure from an enemy into an ally. You stop fearing mistakes and start using them as stepping stones to wisdom and strength. When you fall, rise, not bitter, but better. Every setback becomes a spark for growth, and every error becomes a compass guiding you toward improvement. The third Stoic principle: prepare for the worst. This teaching might sound grim at first, but it's one of Stoicism's most empowering truths. Prepare your mind for the worst, so you can handle anything. This isn't pessimism, it's mental armor. When you imagine possible challenges ahead, you strip fear of its power. You're not caught off guard by pain. You're ready for it. By mentally rehearsing adversity, you train your emotions to remain steady. You stop being fragile in the face of uncertainty and start becoming flexible, adaptable, and calm. And when you're prepared for loss, you naturally grow more grateful for what you have. Knowing that good times are temporary makes you cherish them even more. Preparation frees you. When you've already faced your fears in your mind, they lose their hold over you in reality. So the Stoic doesn't live in dread of hardship. He walks with awareness, grounded in peace, ready for both sunshine and storm. The fourth Stoic principle: wealth is not the goal. The fourth principle warns us of one of life's great traps: the illusion of wealth as happiness. Money is not evil, but worshiping it blinds us to what truly matters. Fortune can twist our values and distract us from the deeper joys of life: character, purpose, connection, and peace. The Stoics teach us that true richness lies not in possessions, but in perspective. Use wealth as a tool for good, but never as your source of worth. Gratitude and moderation protect you from greed's endless hunger. Real contentment isn't about getting more. It's about needing less. When we live with temperance and appreciation, we escape the emptiness of comparison and discover the quiet abundance that was always within us. So let wealth serve your purpose, not define your value, because the richest life isn't measured in gold, it's measured in peace. The fifth Stoic principle: don't chain yourself to a single dream. The fifth Stoic teaching reminds us not to place all our hope on one dream or outcome. In a world that changes by the minute, flexibility is survival. This principle encourages us to diversify our ambitions, to spread our energy across different goals, experiences, and paths. When you depend on a single dream to define your happiness, you make yourself emotionally fragile. If that dream collapses, your world collapses with it. But when you nurture several passions and aims, life's storms can't shake your foundation. You always have another path to walk, another reason to move forward. Having more than one dream doesn't dilute your purpose. It broadens your growth. Each pursuit teaches you something new, gives you new skills, and deepens your understanding of the world. So, the Stoic doesn't cling to one destiny. He walks with open eyes, open hands, and open possibilities, knowing that balance, peace, and joy come not from control, but from adaptability. In short, don't anchor your happiness to a single outcome. When you stay open to multiple paths, you become unshakable, able to find meaning in every turn life takes. The sixth Stoic principle: true wealth is gratitude. The sixth Stoic lesson, inspired by Epictetus, redefines what it means to be rich. It says, "Wealth is not found in possessions, but in perspective." Modern life constantly pushes us to chase more money, more recognition, more comfort. But Stoic wisdom invites us to pause and ask, when is enough enough? Gratitude is the antidote to endless desire. When you focus on what you already have, your health, your relationships, your small daily victories, You begin to realize how abundant your life already is. A grateful mind is a peaceful mind. It doesn't depend on perfect circumstances to feel content. It carries joy within, regardless of what's happening outside. Practicing gratitude builds resilience. It shields you from discouragement and disappointment because your happiness is not for sale, it's self-made. So remember, real wealth isn't the size of your house or your bank account. It's the size of your appreciation for life itself. By living with gratitude, you stop chasing illusions and start living with freedom. The seventh Stoic principle: remember death, cherish life. This next teaching is perhaps the most profound of all. Memento mori. Remember that you will die. This isn't meant to frighten you. It's meant to awaken you. When you remember the brevity of life, every moment becomes precious. Every day becomes a gift you refuse to waste. The Stoics remind us that time is the one thing we can never get back. So don't spend it chasing things that will vanish when you're gone. Instead, invest it in relationships, experiences, and acts that strengthen the soul. Awareness of death sharpens your purpose. It makes you love more deeply, forgive more easily, and live more honestly. You stop living for applause and start living for meaning. The friendships you nurture, the kindness you show, the causes you support, these are the true treasures of life. When you realize life is short, you start living fully. You stop waiting for the right moment and start making this moment right. In the end, the Stoics teach us, death gives life its value. Embrace that truth, and every breath becomes sacred. The eighth Stoic principle: detach from what you can't control. Marcus Aurelius wrote that true freedom begins the moment you stop being ruled by things outside yourself. The eighth Stoic principle teaches detachment, not as cold indifference, but as emotional independence. It's not about rejecting the world or giving up material comfort. It's about refusing to let them control your peace. When your happiness depends on things you can lose, possessions, approval, outcomes, you give away your power. Detachment means enjoying what you have without becoming enslaved by it. It's the ability to say, if I lose it, I will still be whole. When you stop measuring your worth by external results, you become calm amid chaos. You no longer chase validation or fear loss. You begin to live with quiet confidence, anchored in values, not circumstances. Detachment also clears your focus. Instead of constantly striving for more, you can now direct your energy toward what truly matters: growth, contribution, and connection. In simple terms, this principle reminds us, possessions can enrich your life, but they should never define it. Freedom lives within, not in the things you own. The ninth Stoic principle: accept what you can't change. This final idea in part 2 holds the secret to inner peace. Accept what you cannot control and focus on what you can. Epictetus taught that suffering often comes not from events themselves, but from our refusal to accept them. We waste our energy wishing things were different instead of responding wisely to reality. Acceptance doesn't mean surrender. It means clarity. It means seeing the truth as it is, not as we wish it to be, and working from there. When you accept what you cannot change, you free up energy to change what you can: your mindset, your response, your choices. That is where real power lies. This shift transforms frustration into focus. Instead of fighting life, you flow with it, calmly, intelligently, purposefully. So the Stoic learns to draw a line between the uncontrollable and the actionable. Beyond that line lies serenity. Within it lies mastery. In short, the ninth Stoic principle teaches us this: peace begins where control ends. When you stop resisting the inevitable, life stops feeling like a battle and starts feeling like balance. The 10th Stoic principle teaches us the art of emotional balance, how to remain calm and centered even in moments of distress or chaos. Inspired by the wisdom of Seneca, this lesson reminds us that we are not helpless victims of our emotions. Rather, we are their observers and guides. We may not always control what we feel, but we can always choose how to respond. Through self-awareness, we learn to face our emotions without judgment, neither suppressing nor surrendering to them. By doing so, we begin to see our inner reactions with greater clarity, allowing us to respond with reason rather than impulse. In times of anxiety or pressure, mindful breathing becomes a powerful ally. A few slow, deliberate breaths can quiet the storm within, calming the sympathetic nervous system and restoring inner stability. This simple act reconnects us with the present moment, the only place where peace truly exists. By practicing mindfulness, we break free from the endless loop of worry and overthinking. The 10th principle, at its core, is a call to emotional discipline. When we cultivate awareness, controlled breathing, and present moment focus, we unlock a deeper calm and lucidity within ourselves. In this stillness, we find the strength to face life's challenges with serenity, balance, and wisdom. The 11th Stoic principle speaks of moderation and balance, the essence of temperance. Drawing from Epictetus, it reminds us that every aspect of life demands harmony between excess and deficiency. To chase extremes is to invite misery. To live in balance is to invite peace. Temperance trains us to govern our desires rather than be ruled by them. It builds self-discipline, the quiet strength to say no to impulses that lead us astray. When we moderate our habits, consumption, and emotional reactions, we create space for better judgment and more meaningful satisfaction. This principle teaches us that happiness lies not in having everything, but in knowing what is enough. By balancing our wants and needs, we live not as slaves to desire, but as masters of our own nature. In simple terms, the 11th principle reminds us that true freedom is found in self-control and true contentment in balance. Through moderation, we walk the middle path, one of peace, clarity, and inner unity. The 12th Stoic principle is about authenticity and honesty. It teaches us to live in harmony with our deepest values, to act from integrity rather than appearance. Inspired again by Seneca, it urges us not to compromise our truth for approval, praise, or profit. When we are honest with others, we build trust, the foundation of all meaningful relationships. When we are honest with ourselves, we find peace, the foundation of a meaningful life. Authenticity frees us from the exhausting performance of trying to please everyone. It allows us to live boldly, guided not by fear or imitation, but by principle. To be genuine is to be whole, to align thought, word, and action under the same purpose. This alignment brings a sense of inner strength and serenity that no external validation can match. In essence, the 12th Stoic principle calls us to live truthfully, courageously, and without disguise. For only in truth do we discover real connection, real peace, and real freedom. The 13th Stoic principle reminds us that while everyone makes mistakes, what truly defines us is how we respond to them. Blame, excuses, and denial only delay growth. The Stoic path asks for something higher, the courage to face our own shortcomings with honesty and humility. Mistakes are not tragedies, they are teachers. To learn from them, we must first acknowledge them. This begins with self-reflection, taking a calm, unbiased look at what we did, how it affected others, and what must change. It means saying, "Yes, this was my doing," without drowning in guilt or shame. True responsibility is not self-punishment. It is maturity in motion. It is the strength to say, "I was wrong, but I will make it right." When we accept responsibility, we reclaim our power to act, to repair, to grow, and to move forward with wisdom. The Stoics teach that blame is a dead end. Reflection, on the other hand, is transformation. Instead of replaying the past in self-condemnation, we must focus on action, apologizing where necessary, correcting what can be corrected, and committing to a better path. To rise beyond blame is to treat oneself with compassion. Just as we would comfort a friend who has failed, we must extend the same kindness to ourselves. When we do, guilt loses its grip, and growth becomes possible. The 13th principle, then, calls for responsibility without self-loathing, a clear-eyed acknowledgement of our flaws, paired with the will to improve. By owning our mistakes, learning from them, and acting with integrity, we free ourselves from the chains of guilt and open the door to renewal. This is how we evolve, not by hiding our faults, but by transforming them into wisdom. The 11th Stoic principle strengthens this idea further. It reminds us that while we cannot always control what happens to us, we can always control how we respond. Life is filled with challenges, setbacks, losses, disappointments, and pain. But Stoicism teaches that it's not the obstacles themselves that define our experience. It's our reaction to them. Our choices, conscious or unconscious, shape our reality. Every response is a decision that either strengthens us or weakens us. The wise learn to pause before reacting. That pause, that single moment of awareness, is the space where power lives. It allows us to see things clearly before acting, to turn chaos into clarity, to turn impulse into insight. Adversity, then, becomes not an enemy, but an opportunity, a forge in which character is shaped. When we face hardship with patience and presence, we transform pain into progress. This principle also reminds us of the importance of a resilient spirit. Stoicism does not demand the absence of emotion. It calls for emotional mastery. It does not deny sorrow or difficulty. It asks us to meet them with steadiness and hope. We may not always choose our struggles, but we can always choose our attitude. Each trial can be seen as a teacher, offering lessons in endurance, humility, and strength. And when the burden feels too heavy, we must remember, asking for help is not weakness, but wisdom. Support from friends, mentors, or loved ones can provide the light we need to see through our darkest moments. The 11th principle teaches us to meet adversity not with despair, but with discipline, to respond to chaos with calm, to greet difficulty with understanding, and to transform pain into purpose. By choosing awareness over reaction and courage over complaint, we move closer to the kind of life that aligns with our deepest values. In this way, every challenge becomes a stepping stone, not away from who we are, but toward who we are meant to be. If you wish to live a complete and meaningful life, these 13 Stoic principles serve as your compass. Together, they lead toward mental clarity, emotional calm, and enduring happiness. By integrating these lessons into your daily actions, you strengthen your character, refine your purpose, and live with more authenticity, wisdom, and joy. Spread kindness. Live with balance. Act with integrity. For in doing so, you embody the timeless spirit of Stoicism, a life of courage, clarity, and peace. in the face of all things.